Keep your heart clean, and you will see the unseen. Saishale Wayakantake, carried over nations' water. Saishale Wehasate, Earthkeeper, you have broken through the protective embrace. Now face the visions put forth long ago. Wisdom from the heart of the mother, revealing the patterns of your heart. You are a teacher, the keeper of the lands. Wisdom from the heart of the mother. You draw forth secret wisdom with every breath. Keep close to us. Waishale, Wakantake. Sit without fear. Trust us to show you light. You have worked hard to hear us, and now it is time that we reveal to you the patterns of your heart. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me again here on New Heart Transformation, somafusionmedia.com. Yes, so the music that you are listening to is indeed something that I actually wrote the lyrics to, and a friend of mine, Super Doyle, did the music. It's all live. We did it in one take. Woo-hoo. Pretty amazing, but more amazing than that is you. And you know what happens when you're in that place of allowance, you're in the place of flow, and you're in the place of just letting go of your controls over what's actually occurring in this lifetime. The most beautiful things have moved through me in that space, and that song is one of them. You know, it says, you have worked hard, and now we're going to reveal the patterns of your heart to you. So this is spirit speaking to me. This is like my higher self. This is, you know, my angels and guides, whatever, the powers that be, God, whatever term you want to use for it. It's what comes through when you're in that silent space of you. And so I'm a huge believer in that. That's my faith. That's my guidance. That's my life. And that's my way of being. And so along those lines, you guys know that I do pull cards. And the cards that I pulled actually are, of course, no surprise, in complete congruence with what I wanted to talk about today. So the first card is, I honor the silent observer. My silent observer transcends my individual identity. It is the witness that was there before I was born, and it will be there after I die. Well, just soak that in for a second. That's pretty groovy. It'll be there after I die, and it was there before I was born. So what makes me think that that I have to work so damn hard? I don't, you don't, we don't. We make it complex, you know? We want to make it hard, when all we have to do is just sit and let the silent observer teach. People have many terms for that, and I'm not going to get into that, but we'll just call it the silent observer, because that's what the card said today. And the other card that I pulled, just, you know, because I'm curious and I wanted to see what the show was about, says, I recognize and understand unity consciousness. When I not only perceive but merge with spirit, I become one with it. In this place, I experience the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. So, pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. All we have to do is flow, right? And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I am actually studying to be a hypnotherapist right now at HMI, and one of my teachers there, Joe Burns, he says, are you on purpose or in reaction? So when you're on purpose, you know, you don't have to like be in that space of reaction because you're balanced, and you're in the balance of effort and allowing. So that's what he says. Be in the balance of effort and allowing. So if you're putting too much effort forth, then you know you're like putting resistance out there, and you know you might get tired or frustrated or any of those things. And if you're over allowing, well, you know, you might be feeling a little high on yourself and a little lazy and stuck to the couch, right? So be in the balance of effort and allowance. um, and as you guys know, my father was a huge influence on the way that I am and the way that I have that balance of effort and allowing. And one of the marvelous books, again, that he presented to me was called Illusions by one of my favorite authors, Richard Bach. And in that book, there's you know, a couple of quotes. One is, what the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls a butterfly. So think about that, you know, in terms of your transformation and change in your life. It's like, don't get stuck or you'll never be able to be the butterfly, you know? Let yourself open, emerge from that caterpillar that you were, and flow into what it means to be a butterfly. Um, Another really wonderful quote from that book, I do believe, I definitely know it's Richard Bach, but I'm not sure. It's from Illusions. It says, you are never given a dream without the power to make it come true. So what that strikes in me is, again, returning to living on purpose, um, and the allowance. So I've had a dream for a long time of something that I do, which is actually, some of you can't see it. Those of you on YouTube will probably see the painting behind me. It's pretty traditionally what I sit in front of when I present. Anyways, it's very bright, beautiful, colorful painting that I did that is a part of what I'm creating, or actually it's creating itself because I have been in that place of allowance, especially now through this program um, for hypnotherapy, because I'm learning so much and being so stimulated that the program is just appearing, because I've wanted so long to present it, but didn't know how, didn't have the tools, didn't have the resources, didn't have the know-how. And it's all coming now because the more I learn and absorb in these teachings, um, the more I receive. And part of what I've been receiving is how to present the material, how to teach you to let go, be in that space of allowance, and paint something beautiful. I mean, what a concept. You know, people say I can't draw, I can't paint it. Da, 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 da. I don't believe that. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you dream, you can become. So again, keep your thoughts right, keep them clear and as positive as you can. Just know that you are the one in charge, aren't you? It's you living, right? It's you doing and it's you being. So if you're the one who's doing all that stuff, living and being, then you're in charge. You are given the gift of perspective and therefore the ability to create, either positive or negative. Which are you choosing? So I'm gonna just remind you that you can call in and talk to me directly if you feel like it. The number is 929-436-2866. And then the ID is 522-657-2748. So if you feel like, you know, having a little input in this, please feel free to call. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to babble on. about just being and creating. And so I am an artist, like I said in the past, and I'm very passionate about our ability to create our life, positive or negative. And also knowing that in creating and going through that process of living, you have things that are going to surface. And the things that are surfacing are things that, you know, you can either look at it, grab a hold of it, or look at it and let it go. You know, there's, I don't know who says it, but probably a lot of people, is you can allow it in the front door, but then let it go out the back door. But you're the one who's doing the allowance. You're doing the allowance of letting it in. You're doing the allowance of allowing it to stay, or the allowance of letting it go. Which do you choose? Again, you choose. Which do you choose? Yes, Farida is just perpetually positive. And that's all right. I've learned that that's all right, you know? That's the way I like to be, and that's the way I like my life to be. I am one who could be in the deepest, darkest hole, like buried way deep down in the earth, but I'm still gonna find the ant speck of light. I'm still going to find the ant speck of light because I can. And I know that I have the ability to do so. It's my choice, right? There's always up from down, and I don't choose to be down. I mean, I'll check it out, but I don't want to stay there. I don't want to be funky like that. You know, I see a lot of great uh, um, uh, possibilities and amazing things in life. Really great people to meet. Um, you know, just there's such a powerful um, thing about existence and being able to have this gift of life. So I take it very seriously to enjoy my ride. And, you know, now I'm in the place where I feel like I can program my journey. How are you programming your journey? Are you okay with it? Are you happy? You know, we have all kinds of resources, if you're not happy about it, to make the shift, to make the change, to alter your perspective, to give you a new way of looking at life. So yeah, again, it's all up to you, right? If you ask the right questions and ask very direct and clear questions, then you're going to get the most potent and clear answers. If you don't care to ask the questions, nobody's going to ask them for you, really, unless you're in a therapy session. Then they'll ask you questions to hopefully get you to some answers that are good and positive for you. Um, and like today, I had a guest scheduled for you guys. I know, I'm sorry that she's not here, but she had something come up and was not able to be present. And I was like, oh God, do I have to cancel the show? Like, can I do this? Can I talk for like half hour to an hour? I'm not sure. Can I keep your attention? Can I figure out something to talk about? And I was kind of nervous. But you know what? I just said, screw it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it and see what comes off the top of my head. Like, what should I present? What's going on? Well, we'll see. Right? So I took the leap of faith and knew that everything was going to be all right. Just like Bob Marley says. And yes, he's one of my favorites. And he also said in an interview, and thank you, Farouz, my beautiful older sister, who knows how much I love him. And she sent me a YouTube clip of him. And of course, once again, perfect timing, right? For what I was talking about. And he says, there's a voice inside talking to everyone. If you listen good, you're going to know. Indeed. what are you going to know? Well, you're going to know everything you need to know, because you're, believe it or not, you have a program, like you have an energetic signature. You have something that's guiding you here. And I'm sure that every single one of you can find one, at least one experience in your life where you discovered the truth of that. And so take those moments, take those little moments and build for yourself. Take them in, absorb them, feel them, know them, love them, have them nurture you up into more of those experiences. Because, yeah, you are energy and you create, you can create. So that's, that's all I really, really wanted to say today. And that's nowhere near half an hour. But I'm sure that more is to come, because I am going to actually check into the cards once again. And we're going to look at the medicine woman here. And of course, discernment comes through. So the wisdom to discern. And I'm just reading off the top of this, so we'll see what's relevant and what's not. The affirmation is, I recognize the circle of life brings undeviating justice to all things, events, and beings, as all unite in consciousness. I realize my every thought, word, and movement affect all creation. Through time, the great circle returns all things to their maker. So, an important part of this is that I realize my every thought, word, and movement affects all of creation. So I don't know how many of you care to even look at that, but that's like so crucial. Talking about like how you present yourself in this world actually affects the people in the world, the things in the world around you. So your environment, what kind of environment are you creating within and without, all around you? How do you clean your environment? If something's funky and it happens, it happens. Funky stuff happens, There's things that are out there trying to make you think that it's so hard to live, but it really isn't. So anyways, just a good point. And then the card speaks. Judgment is simply the return to self of that which self has given forth. Ooh, what did I say? Be careful of what you're creating. Be careful of what you're thinking. Be careful of what you're putting forth. And be careful of the energy that surrounds you. From the mountaintop, you can look back and see the footprints of your path through the snowy valley of life. Here, your heart can open to all, for you see clearly from a high, or from on high. No anger is stored, no judgment is hidden. Now you have learned to express what needs to be expressed, to empty the heart and open its doors for true love to enter. Judgment symbolizes our resurrection, or rising above the illusion of separation. The illusion of separation. You're not separate from anything around you or in you, because the kingdom of heaven is within. So you are not separate. You are not separate. Here we find cooperation not only with people, but with the forces of nature and all life. There is no more sense of being judged or of judging others. As we accept all as a unity of interaction, there is a new plane of awareness. At this level of being, you have acquired the capability of discernment. You know your proper place at any given moment and the proper place of others. Your experience has given you the wisdom with which to make decisions that may leave someone out and let another in. But how you do this without judging those people or yourself instead. Or now you do this without judging those people or yourself. You discern correct action at any given time, and you are unafraid to take it. You are able to speak your mind without guilt. And I might add, from a place of love. Please. You might find that you are increasingly sensitive to sound. The vibration of truth is a sound that can be perceived in your own and someone else's words. Now you are sensitized to it. From this plane of awareness, your life can be reviewed and all accounts settled. You will know the impact your words have on others. Wow. I'm going to read that again and just absorb the energy of those words. You will know the impact your words have on others. I can't even tell you how many times I've been hurt by words, even more severely than hands or actions. So that just is so important to me. Old events may be perceived in new light. Thank God. We have the ability to move forward, right? What was once seen as a hindrance can now be seen for its value in helping the self to gain certain qualities and experiences necessary for the awakening that has come about. Welcome to the level of consciously working with us, the guides of humanity. Consciously working with the guides of humanity. Consciously. You know, you have the ability to bring all those behaviors and things that you do subconsciously or without awareness into awareness and change those patterns of behavior, to change those beliefs that have, you know, maybe been imprinted on you. So here's the question. Remember I said asking questions and asking clear questions? Am I capable of expressing what I think without harsh judgment of others? Am I capable of expressing what I think without harsh judgment of others? One more time, because I think 3 is the magic number. Am I capable of expressing what I think without harsh judgment of others? Here's the really, really funny part. The exercise is ding, 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 ding. I do have a bell, but it's far from me. Listen. The exercise is listen. What did I start at the top of this hour with? Listen. I cannot be any more clear on the exercise. And this is where I really am in my life, is to be present and listen. My God, was that hard for me because I love to talk. Anyways, the meditation is spend half an hour chanting Om aloud, then be silent for half an hour. Now, I'm not a, you know, you can chant or not chant or whatever, but just, you know, maybe sit for, you know, half an hour and let your mind chatter, or listen to a nice instrumental song that you like, or even, you know, I've had songs with lyrics. One of them is Mind Control by, I think it's Damian Marley, because the words, the lyrics in that, like, they bring me to a place, you know, and it's just rings so clear to a message that's being delivered to my spirit through that song. So anyways, so do that for half an hour, and then don't do a damn thing, but just listen for half an hour. Now, I recommend this in the twilight hours. So that's, early morning, or like, the first hour of awakening. Don't do anything else but that exercise. Or the hour before bed is also twilight. And it's just because spirit is so active, and I think there is a clear channel, or a clear, you know, a clear opening for you to be able to really receive, because you're in that alpha state, and your mind is open. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of the card. Like, this card couldn't be any more perfect for what I've been saying. So thank you, powers that be. The meditation is to, oh, you did that, is to spend that hour of your day doing those things. The visualization, what I meant to say, is see yourself ascending a rainbow stairway to the heavens. Put yourself into that ascending body and begin to feel yourself walking up those stairs. You could also, if you don't believe in heaven, you could be a balloon, So see yourself as a balloon ascending, and put yourself inside that ascending balloon, and imagine that you can pierce the clouds and hear the call of celestial music. Reach for the angelic hand outstretched and go where you are led. So in that space, if you don't believe in angels, then you can still be the balloon and be in the clouds, and then let, whatever you're feeling in that space talk to you. Yeah? And when it's talking to you, it'll probably take you somewhere in your thoughts that's going to help you clear whatever you might be working on. So they're saying that the astrological sign for this card of discernment is Pluto. And then they also get into the foods. So here's what they say. Every religious tradition has certain suggestions, if not rules and taboos, on which foods help one be of highest spiritual path. Definitely, foods affect the body in very specific ways. If you have been utilizing these lessons fully, you have seen how certain foods affect your own body. You will also discover that when you eat according to a certain diet, your own feelings and vibes become different from others who are not eating the way that you are. Religious groups or even families are more in harmony with each other than they are when they are partaking the same general diet. Many spiritual teachers eat very lightly, gaining an extra sensitivity to their needs of their people. Adopt the diet of religious tradition or exalted teacher you respect. Notice the change in your own vibration as you allow yourself to become aware of the diet's effects. Do you gain more understanding into the person's or tradition? Do you feel more akin? You can learn from that. Also, this is like a modeling. So if you want to accomplish a goal or something in your life, if you want to be something, if you want to do something, then you find somebody who's successful in that and you model what they do. And then it goes into the colors. See how real gold or diamonds affect the way you feel. Why are these so valued throughout the world? Can you find their inner worth? What is the stone on your land? Its color and place in your life. How do you feel when adorned with jewelry that carries magical or special meaning for you? How do you feel completely unadorned? What are your true colors? Experiment with that. Find out what certain colors or stones feel important in your life, during what periods of your life, during which relationships. How did the color help you? And yeah, I'm big on color. Like I said, the painting that's behind me is full of color. And yes, color has incredible meanings. So, and it's all available for you on Google. Surround yourself with a color and see what sound comes to mind. Try listening to different sounds and see what colors they bring to mind. And then there's just a little bit more to read about the card. And I'm really glad that I did this, because not only is it taking up time, but it is displaying exactly the things that I wanted to talk about today. So during times of self-reflection, there is an evaluation of the actions of self and others. In the early stages of understanding, you may easily judge others as wrong. If it weren't for them, I would have been able to blah, 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 blah. The best thing to come out of judging others wrong is the desire to be unlike them oneself. You vow to maintain and remain better, or to become better than that which you are perceiving as outside yourself. As you become more aware of how your thoughts and actions draw events and people to you, you begin to judge situations differently. It is no longer simply, I'm totally right and they're totally wrong. You begin to see where you asked for it or played right into their hands. This is the second level of judging and judgment, leading toward true discernment. At this stage, you begin to see more clearly where others are misjudging or prejudging others, and you want to help these prejudiced or judgmental people to see their errors and become more fair. Of course, you are still judging them and may become irritated at your own judgments. All of this leads to the third stage of judgment. Here, we might call it a further refinement of discrimination. You are sorting out that which is beneficial to you and that which is not. But you are no longer making blanket decisions to rule out someone or something merely by its general classification. You are distinguishing between subtleties. In the area where you do this best, you would be considered a connoisseur. Your tastes and perceptions are very refined. This is a high level of quality of judgment, and it is easy to want to stay there. But remaining at this level will become just as distasteful as the spiritual seeker as remaining at either of the first two levels. The next step in your personal evolution is to go beyond these necessary developmental stages. The path looks something like this. Egotistical self-righteousness. I'm always right. Blind dogmatism. My group is always right. Prejudice and judgmentalism. My values are better than someone's. Discrimination. I can tell you the smallest detail why one thing is better than another. Discernment. I can see a reason for it all and the part I play in its creation. I can also choose, I can also choose not to play my part. Discernment is a willingness to look and listen. Whew, what did that say? Discernment is a willingness to look and listen attentively to the information before you, whether that information comes in the form of a person, a creed, an event, or even the simplest words and actions. You take time to reflect on the reason for its being placed within your field of awareness. You accept your part that you played in drawing it to you. Ooh-wee. And if you don't like it, you accept your role in dismissing it from you. Hallelujah. As you can see, it's very hard at this level to get too uppity about anything. And at the same time, you can and must make choices. But these choices are based on the refined senses you have developed along the way during the early stages of judgment. Discernment is a liberation from the roles of either victim or oppressor. You have ascended. You may now trust yourself to carry out the divine will by trusting and acting on what feels right to you in each moment. In each moment. Your mind, spirit, body, and emotions are coordinated unit, acting with full knowledge of your relationship to the whole. The mind, body, spirit, and emotions now experientially that you are so, oh, that, oh goodness, I can't read this. This is a little complex. Tongue twister. Let me try again. The mind, body, spirit, and emotions now know experientially that what you sow, you will also reap. The circle of life is clear. Whew. Wow. And I do feel like I've come full circle on that, because didn't I start with that? Didn't I start with that? And I ended with that. How beautiful. So I hope that you have had a good listening experience today, and that you'll come and join me next week at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will have a wonderful guest. His name is Joshua. And yes, I look forward to whatever Spirit brings, because I don't come with a plan. I just come and sit and listen and allow whatever Spirit wants to bring to you. That's what I feel is so special about this time that I have with you on Soma Fusion. Is I have time to just share with you openly and with the flow from Spirit. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's message. I don't know, Katie, do we have a caller?
No, we don't.
No. Okay. So yeah, so with that, I feel pretty complete. So join me here next week at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be talking to my guest Joshua, and that's pretty much all you need to know. He's a really wonderful person, and is full of God's word and light and wisdom and life. And so I look forward to that. And then after that, I'm going to move to Fridays at 3 p.m. because with school and everything, Monday is a little tight for me. So Fridays at 3 p.m. from, after next week. So stay blessed, stay light, and stay easy. Love and blessings to you all in your lives. And, just remember, you're in control. It's not in control of you. So don't let that happen. Find that light, see that light, keep your eyes open for just the tiniest speck. Because from the tiniest speck, you can create such amazing and wonderful things. Thank you for listening.